Okay, so welcome to the part two of the digital forensics and incidents analysis and response. So I was trying to make sure that you grasp what an incident response is like. Though we have another module that we're going to be considering just after this, that will be more or less a research work, a group research work for all of the students. I'll give you a text, so give you case studies. So you go through from all of the things you've learned from day one, from your IT essentials to your web security to your um, digital forensics to your Cisco CyberOps, and of course, everything you've learned in the last 3 months. So it will culminate in this research project that you're going to be working on. So I felt I should do some introduction here so that you get to understand what a playbook looks like. So a playbook is, like I said earlier on, just a step-by-step guide. So please just visit incidentresponse.com/playbooks. So this is the screenshot of the page I just captured here. So you have malware outbreak, phishing, data theft, unauthorized access, denial of service. There are about 12 of them. So whichever type of incident you have, how do you cope? How do you plan? How do you mitigate? So incident response aims to limit the impact of the attack, assess the damage caused, and implement recovery procedures. So incident response involves the methods, policies, procedures. So incident response plan is more or less an offensive security countermeasure. It's not an aftermath. So you see, digital forensics is later on. Incident analysis can be while you're at an attack or you have an attack. Whereas incident response, it's you planning. And a good deal of the work is going to be done before you have an attack. And of course, the NIST framework provides us a very nice standard guidelines, computer security incident handling guide. But I really love the playbooks. They will give you step-by-step actions to follow through. So this is the what summarizes your policy plan and procedures that you should have in your incident response. And this gives you typically everything. This is summarized. So please visit the website and download, I think, about the 10 to 12 PDFs you have there. Study them. You can literally start implementing them within your enterprise. Okay, so who is going to be part of the guys that are going to help us create and approve our incident response plan? Of course, management, information assurance, IT support, legal, and several other persons. So because some of our plans will need approval. Okay. What else makes sense here? So the cybersecurity incident response team. If you are to create, so you call this cybersecurity and incidents response team. So how do you prepare for an incident? So what's the life cycle like? So the first thing you want to do is prepare. So get people trained, people in forensic, people in network, people in hardware, people in web, people in mobile, depending on what your system looks like, right? Then train them on incident response. You could use all of those frameworks and all of those guides. Detection analysis. So what are you going to be using to do this detection? How are you going to be doing monitoring? Which SIEM tool, which network monitoring tool are you using? Containment, eradication, and recovery. So implement procedures to contain the threat, eradicate the impact on organizational assets, and use backups to restore data and software if that's your last option. And of course, post-incident activities. Post-incident activities are going to be things around why it happened, how it happened, what did we do well, what are the lessons learned, how do we train ourselves better, are there vulnerabilities within our people, process, tools, do we even have vulnerabilities within our plan. Because you can have a plan and the plan did not cover all of the things it needs to cover. It then means that plan has a vulnerability, that plan has a loophole. So you don't always talk about the vulnerability when you refer to hardware or software. No, you can have vulnerability in a loophole in a document. That document did not take into consideration some certain circumstances, some certain scenarios. That's why incident response plan documents are things you update from time to time regularly. So this is what preparation looks like. Of course, you detect, you contain, post-incident activities. That's it. You hold lesson learned meetings, right? Very, very important. So that you are better equipped to tackle any attack. Okay, I think that's all. Don't forget the NIST framework, the SAN SANs also have their own incident response documentation. And don't forget the link I showed you. That's very, very detailed. It's going to summarize all of the things you're learning here. Okay, so that's all. What have we learned? Digital forensics is recovery, investigation, and we need to look out for indicators of compromise. There are about 4 steps. It can always be expanded, but the 4 major steps are 4 in number: collection, examination, analysis, and reporting. And your evidence can be direct, it can be indirect, it can be your best evidence, it can also be a corroborating evidence. So thank you very much for attending the CISCO CyberOps training. If I were you, I would dig deeper and finish up the last module, which is more of a research work, the cyber breach course. Then I will focus on deciding which area would I want to go into. Would I want to go into web security? Would I want to go into cloud security? Do I want to go into network security? Do I want to go into data security? Which of the areas do I want to go into? Or do I want to go fully into digital forensics? So please make the plan, make the decision. Let's hear from you. Don't forget to log on to your Cisco LMS. Uh, do your readings, write your notes. If you have questions, please ask within the mentorship group, and see you at the top.